Bye-bye.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Give me one moment to set up here. I'm on a new device using my phone this week to see if we get a little better quality. We'll try that. So good morning, wherever you're coming from. Thank you for joining for practice today. I'm Anais, and today you're gonna need, I always like to have a blanket handy. Make sure you have at least one, maybe 2 blocks for today, and then you should be good. All right, so maybe just give yourself a moment to grab those items, and then come to a seated position, maybe on a blanket, or directly on the mat. And take a moment to arrive just by either softening the eyes or closing the eyes altogether. Tuning into the breath. Tuning into the weight of the body, the weight of the bones on your mat. And just noticing what's going on inside with the breath. Perhaps checking in on the quality of breath today on this blustery winter day. Maybe even using the breath as a catalyst for warmth, for building a fire inside you, to help warm your body up, to help warm up your practice. Perhaps imagining that with each inhale, you're breathing in oxygen and you're creating a little bit of a kindling. So the embers are starting to catch fire. And this fire within you grows a little bit stronger with each breath. So in the same way that a flame might flicker, you can imagine the flames sort of shifting, rising and falling as you breathe in and out. What does that feel like? Just take a couple more breaths here, resting our awareness again on this building fire inside. Just as a means to stay warm, create a little extra warmth on this cold day. Eventually, you can turn your attention back to the breath just normally, so letting go of that visualization of the fire. Tuning into the breath just as it is one more time. Noticing any parts of the body that might feel warmer. after having brought our awareness and sort of gathered our resources here in our seat, in our body, and in the awareness of our body. And slowly you can begin to open your eyes, lift your gaze. Do so in a really gentle way so that you can just begin to receive the light in the room around you. Allow yourself to ease back into this space around you. And then eventually taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, maybe out through the mouth to release. And arrive into our practice. So from here, you can keep a seated position. We'll continue warming up the central channel a little bit by lifting our arms up. You can reach up towards the sky and then bring the elbows into a 90-degree cactus arms. And from here, simply move from side to side. Easy movements. Noticing how the shoulders, the upper arms feel as you bring some movement side to side. Stay nice and anchored through your seat and through the spine. Imagine that you're just sort of rotating around the axis of the spine. So it's really just the arms and the upper torso that's mobile here, but see if you can really feel grounded in the seat. And as you come over from side to side, maybe when you make it all the way to one side, pause and bring the wrists back as if someone was pressing into the wrists, pressing the wrists back. Might feel a little more opening in the shoulder there. If that feels like too much, you can let go of that. And then just come over to the other side. Same thing here, pressing back through the wrists. Maybe finding a little more opening now in the opposite shoulder. One more time, swiveling back to the first side. And then release that back arm down behind you. Reach the front arm up and overhead. Nice side stretch here. Nice deep breaths. Feel free to make any audible sighs, exhaling out the mouth if that feels good, and releasing. All right, then come back through center, back through cactus arms and over to the other side. Release that back arm, reach up and over with the front arm. Nice deep breaths again here, staying nice and rooted, grounded through the seat. Imagining that your cactus, this arm, is maybe just growing out towards the sun in this direction. One more nice deep breath here into the side body. Maybe an audible exhale. And then come back through center. One more time, cactus arms. Easy movement side to side just to wring it out. And then release your arms down. Okay, from here, I invite you to either stay in this seated position, or if your hips are already a little bit open, you'll pretty much know right away. You can step your right leg over your left so it comes to the outside of the left knee. All right, so if this feels at all tight in the hips, you can come back to the seated position and you'll get the same benefit out of this twist. All right, otherwise, stepping that foot over, inhale, bring both hands to the knee. Inhale, sitting nice and tall, staying grounded in the seat. Exhale, pull that knee in towards you as you twist to the side. Nice, easy breaths here. Maybe feeling a little bit of heat from this opening. Embrace it, welcome it. And if it feels a little too fiery, like you're gonna get burned, just back off. All right, release that. Let's come on over to the opposite side here. So stepping the left leg over to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, nice and tall through the spine. Exhale, turn over to the side, pulling the knee in towards you. Checking in with the outer hip here on this side. Melting into any warmth you might feel, any opening. And then release. Come back into an easy seat. We'll do one more easy twist here so we can open up the neck a little bit. So bring your left hand over to the right knee. Take your other arm behind you. Inhale. As you ground down through the seat, lift up through the crown of your head. And exhale, twist back. Now from here, keep your torso where it is. Turn just your head to face the front of the room. And let your ear drop down towards that front shoulder. Nice opening here along the side of the neck. Maybe even into that back arm. And just tap into this sensation. What is the temperature? What is the quality of this opening? Is it comfortable? Is it uncomfortable? And can you allow that experience into your practice? Non-judgmentally. So neither good nor bad, just allowing it to be whatever that sensation is. All right, and lift the head back up. Turn the torso back to center and come over to the other side. Inhale, once again, lifting up through the crown of the head. Exhale, turn back. Keep your torso where it is and turn just the head forward. Drop your ear down towards the shoulder. One more breath here. And release the head back up. Turn back to center. And then you're going to roll onto hands and knees for table pose. Option here to bring a blanket underneath the knees or even the wrists. See how that feels. And then make sure you have your blocks handy. You can put them at the top of your mat. We're going to be using them to help stabilize a little bit later. So just have them handy there. But for now, coming into table pose. Once you're here, shift your hips over to the right, look over your left shoulder. A little bit of warmth there all along the right side seam. And then bump the hips over to the left side, look over the right shoulder. And then again, coming over to the first side, looking over the opposite shoulder. I should mention though that if this feels a little cranky in the body, you can also look over the same shoulder as that hip that's bumped out. So you can try for yourself and see what feels good. And then just sway, bumping the hips side to side as the head goes with it, either in the opposite direction or same direction. So just a couple times to loosen up, open up, getting juicy into the hip joints here. And then pause somewhere in the middle, coming back to center. And then really lean into the bones here. So can you tap into the weight of the bones? Let them be heavy. Really let gravity do its work here as you ground down into the mat through the bones. So take a moment just to feel that. Feeling the weight, the sturdiness of the bones. Then you're going to bring that awareness to both knees and the left hand as you let the right arm lift up. So let it be heavy here. Keep that heaviness in the bones. Engage the abs here and lift the arm. So we're really just lifting, not reaching so much. Noticing if any heat begins to build. And then release that hand back down. Shift weight now into the right hand. Staying nice and grounded through the knees as well, nice and heavy in the lower body and the bones there. And then from here, lifting the bones in the left arm, so let them be heavy. Engage the core and lift up. Easy lift. We're not reaching out of the socket here. And just notice if any heat begins to build. And release. Let's do that one more time on the right side. Shifting into the left arm bones. Lift the right arm. All right, so tuning in again here to the skeleton. Imagining that the weight of the bones and the work of gravity are really working to warm things up. And release the right hand down. Last time, lift the left arm. And release back down. All right. Take a moment to come sit on your heels. Let's give a couple wrist rolls here. In one direction and then the opposite direction. You can even shake out the shoulders. Let there be nice space in the neck. Okay, and then from here, come on back to table pose. And we'll open up a little bit more in the shoulders. So from here, thread the right arm underneath the left, bringing the shoulder down towards your mat. If your mat needs to come up a little bit, you can slide a block or a blanket underneath you and just let your head rest there. A couple breaths here. Maybe tuning into the bones again so that the shoulder can just melt down towards the mat. What does it feel like when we just allow that releasing to happen? And when we can just allow the bones to support us, allow gravity to do the work. And then slide your arm back out. Slide the left arm underneath the right arm. Same thing goes here. If you need to slide a block or a blanket underneath you, go ahead and get that right underneath the ear. then slide on out. Come back to table pose for just a moment. And step the right foot forward between both hands. You're gonna grab your blocks. Go ahead and place them around the front foot. And then bring some easy rocking movements forward and back to let the leg muscles know that we're starting to warm up. We're getting ready to work a little bit. I'm even gonna grab my blanket here for my back knee. You can do that as well if it feels right. Okay, and the next time you come forward, pause there. Press through the front foot to lift both arms up towards the sky. Reaching up, let there be space in the shoulders, neck, as the shoulders fall away from the ears. Let there be lots of space between the hands, as if you made room for the sun in between both hands. And then tilt over to the right. Back through center, tilt over to the left. And once again, coming back through center, over to the first side. Through center, over to the second side. And come on back up, release both hands back down to your blocks. And straighten the legs, so drawing the hip back as you begin to straighten the legs. So those front toes are gonna pop up. Let them pop up. Breathe into any opening into the back of the thigh and the right hip right here. And then slide the block on the inside of the leg a little bit closer towards you. From here, you're going to anchor that left hand down on the block and reach up with your right arm. And release back down. All right, come forward again. This time you're going to tuck the back toes, press through the front foot, reach both arms up, coming back up to our sun. This time, instead of coming over left and right, you're going to step through the front foot and back toes to lift yourself up. Really slowly here, with intention. Coming into a high lunge, and continue to reach up as you root down through the feet. Nice deep breath here. And really slowly place the knee back down. Release both hands back down to your blocks. And step both knees back together. Step the left foot forward. Give it a couple rocks here. Warming up the leg. And then the next time you come forward, pause there. Press through the front foot, reach both arms up. All right, making space again in the shoulders and between the hands. Pick up your sun. Then come on over to the right side. Back through center, over to the left side. And over one last time to your both hands down. And draw your hip back so that front leg comes towards straight. Again, the toes are going to pop up off the floor here. All right, nice breaths here. Feeling any heat in the back of the leg. Again, don't let this become too fiery. If it does, soften the knee, then you'll still get a nice stretch there. All right, and then bring that right block in a little bit closer towards you. Anchor your right hand down and lift your left arm up towards the sky. and release back down. Okay, coming forward again. This time tuck the back toes into your mat. Press into the front foot to reach both arms up. Secure your sun between both hands. And then press into both feet to lift up. All right, you might feel a little bit of fire here in the legs, and that's perfectly good and fine. Remember to anchor down through the legs as we continue to reach up towards the sun. One more breath here. And release, gently placing that back knee back down on your mat. Release both arms down and step both knees back together. Place your blanket to the side. And then you're going to come onto your seat with knees bent, placing both feet flat on the mat in front of you. All right, from here you can grab just one block, place it between the knees, and you're going to come forward onto your mat a little bit so that you have enough room to roll back and stay on the mat when you do roll back. Okay, so from here, you're going to reach your arms forward. You might feel a little bit of heat already in the core. As you reach forward, inhale, exhale, allow the spine to round back, eventually coming all the way onto your back and letting the legs lift up. Now use that momentum to roll back up. Reach forward, inhale. And exhale, roll back. So rocking forward and back a couple times. Let this be easy and organic. So taking as much time as you need to come up and down, maybe challenging yourself to see how slowly you can roll back before your feet lift up. All right, let's do one more here, reaching forward and rolling back. All right, once you get down onto your back, you can release the block from between your legs and let both feet come down to the mat. Option to bring the knees in towards you and hug them, rocking side to side, or maybe coming into happy baby. Any last cozy movements you need to close out our practice. I like to end in Uppanasana here with both knees in. And just feel that little massage on the back of my spine in the opposite direction, because we were just massaging the spine as we rolled forward and back. And now we get a little bit on the sides as well. All right, as you're ready, go ahead and roll all the way over to one side. Press yourself up to a seated position. And take a moment here, this time in our seated position, to let the benefits of our practice settle in. So allow your hands to rest somewhere in your lap. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Tune into the bones again. Let them be heavy. Let gravity do the work as you release down onto your mat. So imagining that the bones are heavy, but your spirit is light. You can continue to stay light and bright, even as you stay grounded and heavy through the bones. And then bring the hands together in front of the heart. Take one last communal breath, inhaling all together the benefits and presence of everyone that joined us in practice today. And exhaling so that the rest of the world may benefit from our practice as well. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you have a great day.